We've had a hell of a couple of weeks, but I did get some exciting news this weekend. According to a new poll from YouGov, which is a serious polling site, or they were before this, I am more popular than the President of the United States. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, let me just read this here. Donald Trump walked into an arena that holds 20,000 people and 19,999 people were so happy. And then there was Bill Burr's wife. Yeah, and I love how people are like, oh, how can you do that? It's like, well, he's racist. He likes to sort of plagiarize some Hitler stuff every once in a while. Like, what is surprising that a black woman wouldn't like him? I don't like the guy. My wife giving him the finger is what I love about my wife. Do you know where you stand with her? And you can't say that about a lot of people.
Jimmy Kimmel and Bill Burr have teamed up to roast the biggest person in politics. Their target is the man who thinks being humble is a sickness and telling the truth is a bad deal. Trump has been so busy mixing his job with his campaign that the Oval Office now looks like a reality TV set. Kimmel starts the roast, Burr finishes it, and by the end, Trump's ego could fit inside a tiny glass made for ants.
Well, I have some bad news. Our government is now officially shut down because we don't have funding to pay the federal workers. Trump really is running the country like it's one of his businesses. He said he would. Just to give you some perspective, the government being shut down is even worse than when it's up.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Kimmel jumps right in, saying Trump acts like being loud means being right. Watching him give a speech is like watching a blender try to give a smart talk. It's noisy, messy, and ends up going nowhere. Burr adds that Trump's confidence should be the eighth wonder of the world. How can one man be so sure about everything, but still be wrong about all of it? The two comedians turn Trump's press meetings into a sad comedy show where logic disappears before the cameras even turn on.
Later, that tried to viciously attack the president this week. Have you been enjoying Trump's most ridiculous distraction from the Epstein files yet? The president claims he's the victim of a triple sabotage. During his visit to the United Nations building in New York on Tuesday, the teleprompter wasn't working, there were issues with the sound system, and most nefariously of all, his escalators.
Then they attack his love for big crowds again. It's the never-ending debate that nobody asked for. Trump could be standing alone in a cornfield and still say millions came to see him. Kimmel jokes that Trump measures success by how many flags he waves in one sentence. Burr adds that the only wall Trump ever built was the invisible one between him and reality. It's a kind of roast that doesn't need fire. Trump's own words keep it burning.
Front of the effect of the shutdown, it will be felt right here in New York. To punish you for disliking him, Trump is putting $18 billion worth of New York City infrastructure projects, like the new rail tunnels under the Hudson and the Second Avenue subway project, on hold to make sure the money isn't being used to support DEI.
Next, they talk about the economy, Trump's favorite topic. He treats it like a shiny trophy he got by accident. Burr says it's like a Jenga tower built with tweets and wishes. Kimmel reminds everyone that when things went wrong, Trump blamed everyone else, the Fed, the media, even the moon. Burr jokes that if Trump's business sense were a movie, it would be Titanic, except he bragged that the iceberg made great TV ratings.
That's not a sane human being. I would have been on the ground crying in the fetal position like, oh, this job anymore. Trump's got all those weird, coming out. I think the guy couldn't get like a bead on him, And like right as he pulled the trigger, Trump was just like, and sleeping, and the bullet went by his head.
They don't skip over Trump's fights with the media either. Kimmel says Trump turned fake news into an art trick that makes every bad fact vanish. Burr adds, Trump treats reporters like kids treat vegetables. If he doesn't like it, it must not be real. They agree that the media isn't Trump's enemy. Reality is. And so far, reality keeps winning.
It says they think it was Trump's own videographer that accidentally kicked a safety mechanism, but Agatha Christie and his team of defective detectives, they do not believe it. They are on the case. This was not just a minor incident. This was a harrowing escape.
Trump and Melania were riding it up, and it just stopped.
Thankfully,
the First Lady and the President had their hands on the rail as they were going up the escalator. I've never known an escalator to be stopped. I go on escalators all the time. That's when I'm happiest, on an escalator.
Kimmel teases Trump about his social media obsession, calling it the wildest diary in U.S. history. Trump tweets like he's racing against sleep. Burr jokes that if someone took away Trump's phone, he'd start writing his orders in the sky. The two say that his mix of insecurity and Wi-Fi has turned him into the biggest online troll ever. Kimmel says it's like watching a king live stream his own meltdown. Burr mocks Trump's hair too, saying he styles it the same way he runs the country, with confusion and denial. Every gust of wind feels like an emergency. Kimmel adds that Trump's hair has more twists than his policies. They laugh that every week in his presidency felt like a season finale of a crazy show. Burr adds that keeping up with Trump scandals is like trying to learn a song that keeps changing. His chaos is his brand. When the smoke never clears, no one asks about the fire.
But he made a major announcement. I am ordering my administration to declassify and release all government records related to Amelia Earhart, her final chip and everything else about her. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We had no attention to that matter.
Then comes foreign policy, Burr's favorite part. He says Trump treats diplomacy like stand-up comedy, insulting friends and flattering bullies, then calling it strategy. Kimmel says Trump's peace talks sound like bad online reviews, loud, useless, and all about him. They agree that his global politics make middle school teamwork look professional. Kimmel says Trump treats climate change like it's just a liberal rumor, and Burr adds that Trump thinks pollution is just patriotism in the air. Together, they make it sound like Trump's plan is to live longer than the planet. Kimmel also says Trump's rallies are like therapy sessions where he gets cheered like a pop star in front of mirrors. Burr says that's where he feels like a legend. Everyone claps on cue. Every rally is the same song, only louder and more confusing.
I'll be honest with you, I can't believe Trump didn't win this thing like 4 months ago. I know that's weird for younger people to hear, but when I was a kid, if you were running for president and you got shot and you didn't die, that was the end of the election. There was nothing you could say. Everybody would just be like, this guy's the man. He is the king. I'll be honest with you, I think the number one reason like Trump survived is all those herky-jerky.
Then they talk about his need for loyalty. Kimmel compares it to a cult that forgot what it was about. Burr says Trump demands loyalty from everyone, but gives it to no one. Everyone's replaceable except him. It's like a play where he's the director and the only person watching. Kimmel then jokes about Trump's love-hate relationship with celebrities. He wants them to like him, but also gets mad at them. Burr says Trump drops celebrity names like a teenager trying to sound cool. They joke about how Trump acted super confident while the country panicked. Each speech sounded like a game show gone wrong. It turned leadership into a performance. They also roast his legal troubles, saying it's like a soap opera that makes law and order look simple. Kimmel says it's funny how Trump treats court papers like spam emails.
She walks on it, it stops, she turns around to the president, and she just leads the president up and walks. So she was unfazed by it. But this is a massive issue. And you know, the president being frozen there in one place makes him vulnerable.
Yeah. Unless he can walk, then they act like they dropped him into shark-infested waters. It was an escalator. You know what another word for frozen escalator?
Burr adds that Trump acts like the Constitution is just another deal he can change. Together, they describe a president juggling court dates and campaign events, turning serious issues into entertainment. Kimmel jokes that Trump's breakup with Truth is the longest one in U.S. history. Burr says Trump treats honesty like dentist visits. He avoids it until he has no choice. They laugh that his speeches are like dance shows where meaning doesn't matter and truth is just pretend. He doesn't bend reality, he breaks it. They also joke about his family, saying it's like a version of Succession without any talent. Burr adds that nepotism is the only rule in Trump's team. Every press meeting feels like a family fight for the camera. The Oval Office became a reality show with family roles.
Have you been called, been notified by
Yes.
Trump to interview Trump? Would you interview Trump?
No, and I wouldn't interview a Democrat either.
Yeah.
I don't want to know those people. My
Right.
job is to make fun of them.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, and the same thing with an award show. Why the fuck would you ever host an award show? Your job as a comic is to make fun of an award show. Why would you go there?
I know.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, if that's something you want to do, because that is a big.
And some people are good at it. Some
Yeah,
people
there we
are
go.
good.
We bought it back. We bought it back.
Kimmel talks about Trump's habit of declaring victory for everything, even gravity. Burr says it's like watching someone brag about winning a race they never ran. Every failure is a conspiracy, and every problem is someone else's fault. They say Trump's biggest skill isn't leading, it's storytelling, but the story never makes sense. Then comes Infrastructure Week, which Kimmel calls the political Bigfoot. Everyone heard of it, no one saw it. Burr says it's the most ambitious, unbuilt project ever. They turn it into a joke about broken promises. Kimmel says Trump repeats his greatest hits like a singer with one song. Burr adds he's been doing the same act for years. Insult, deny, distract, repeat. Outrage gives him attention, and he loves it. They mock how Trump wants love, but can't stand questions. It's not about legacy, it's about his ego. Finally, they talk about the border wall, calling it the world's most expensive metaphor. Kimmel says it cost billions and still couldn't keep reality out.
You remember the guy who keeps saying I have no ratings? Well, that makes two of us. They polled more than 1,000 people, and I lead Trump by 16 points. I'm at +3, he's at -13. It's nice, but it feels like, considering the fact that I'm not a convicted felon friend of Jeffrey Epstein, and I've never paid off a porn star or sent a team of masked goons into a park to pull an old lady away from her grandchildren, I feel like my rating should be higher, maybe even. At this point, finding a tone.
Burr adds that Trump sold it like a superhero cape for safety, but it just blocked logic. They laugh about how every brick became a symbol of stubbornness. Kimmel says Trump's leadership is like a lottery, random, dramatic, and always self-serving. Burr adds that if smart leadership were contagious, Trump would still test negative. His unpredictability became a running joke. Kimmel calls Trump's speeches abstract art with words, and Burr says they sound like fortune cookies written by broken robots. They say Trump turns every national problem into a chance for attention. The only thing smaller than his attention span is his sense of responsibility.
Dude, he is the greatest shit talker of all time. He sat at like $100,000 breakfast while the president trashed him. Humiliated.
This is a couple of years ago. The
Jumping around.
White House Correspondents' Dinner. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for giving instruction.
Yeah.
Humiliated the guy.
Right.
My wife would love you. You should
Yeah.
sit next to me during brunch. She never knows what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sits there, the guy totally trashes him. He's absolutely humiliated. And within like 2-3 years, he had that guy's job.
Right.
So you could never talk shit to him. Going, hey, Donald, one time I was in a bar and this guy came in, oh, really? One time I was sitting, I paid $100,000 for breakfast. The President Trump, the hell's his name? Barack
Obama.
Yeah, Obama.
Yeah. I'm giving you structure now.
Yeah, Obama. He trashed me, and 2 years later I had a fucking job.
Finally, they tease him about his golf trips, calling them his most consistent policy. Kimmel says Trump treats the presidency like a weekend game. Burr says the only wall Trump finished is the one around his golf courses. They joke that if effort were measured in golf swings, Trump would be the hardest worker ever. Kimmel says Trump's been running for re-election since day one. Burr adds he's not really a president. He's his own brand manager. They say he turned politics into personal advertising, making the White House the world's most expensive billboard. Trump wanted to be remembered in stone, but he's being remembered in memes. Kimmel and Burr end their roast with a laugh, reminding everyone that comedy always wins when truth has to scream to be heard. The roast may end, but the jokes won't, because as long as Trump keeps talking, the comedy writes itself.